Conference, a first-team selection in the postseason honors. Missouri with first swing. Michael Vernon putting it to the floor.
I think everyone knew where it was going. I think they knew she was going to be getting it. She gets this Missouri team off to a great start.
And Missouri puts it in play with Sands. Set up to MJ McCurdy, but can't get it for Texas State. That leads us to our keys to the game from Jill.
Well, you're going to see a lot about serving and passing tonight for, all over the country, but Texas State wants to win the serve and pass game, start to set the tone with their block as well, shut down the physicality of Missouri. Well, Missouri really wants to slow down Wunsch, number 8, and have a strong performance at the service line.
Well, slowing down Vernon will be a key for Texas State. Already a couple of kills for her. The other point coming on an attack error by McCurdy. 3-0 Missouri. Set up for Samantha Wunsch. Gets down.
Smith's got a big arm. You're going to see her going hard and high all night. You can see her hitting the perimeter of the court there. She's not trying to put it straight down. She's really going to pick away at the edges of the block.
She had 12 kills in the Sun Belt final. A win over Arkansas State. Wide of the line on the Missouri attack. And the Bobcats within 1.
Perfect pass by Missouri there. It's really good to see them work on getting their middles involved very early.
MJ McCurdy, the freshman from nearby Frisco, Texas. Back to Vernon with some firepower.
She's fun. She's fun to watch. And hey, I want you to pay attention. Okay, there we go. If you were to see the pass by Perez Catila, you're going to see the ball come off her platform a lot faster than the libero.
Crownover puts it in play. The transfer from the Texas Longhorns. An error on the attack for Texas State. And Crownover will continue. So able to get on the same page on the Bobcat side.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there.
5-2, Mizzou. Crownover received second team All Southeastern Conference honors. Their first season in Columbia. Long on the attack by Texas State, and Mizzou's lead is now 4. Timeout called by Sean Hewitt for Texas State, just 8 points deep into this match. Texas State dominated its way through the Sun Belt program, led the Bobcats to the SBC Tournament Championship in 2020 and again this year, plus an additional NCAA tournament appearance last year as an at-large. Usually his team gets sent to Austin. A little change of pace here in the postseason, getting sent up to Dallas.
Hitting that deep corner again. Like I said, hey, look for Missouri to make an adjustment there eventually if she keeps going that way.
This is Alyssa Ortega. 14 digs in Texas State Sun Belt Championship final victory. Back to Vernon on the light touch. Texas State with an opportunity here, getting it to Wunsch. Maggie Walsh sends it over, nearly had it to the floor. Good job by Sands, keeping it up. Sands again. Over to Jordan Iliff, but the Texas State block is there.
This is exactly what Texas State wanted to do. They wanted the block to kind of direct things for them and show Missouri that they came to play. So good job by them.
Maggie Walsh and Bailey Hanner teaming up. 6-4 is the Tiger lead. Another chance for Iliff. This time gets it into zone 6. Off hands as Maggie Walsh got a few figures on it. 7-4 Missouri, and our first ace of the afternoon.
One of the keys that Coach Sullivan talked about They always focus at the service line as one of the keys of their matches.
That's 26 aces on the year now for Vernon, second best on this team. Free ball for Mizzou. Iliff, ball recycled for the Tigers. Now a chance for Janet DeMarais. Texas State on the attack with Wunsch, and a diving Sands gets to it again. Showing why she's the two-time SEC Libero of the Year. Countering on the Texas State side, another opportunity for Wunsch, this time in front of the baseline for the point.
Lots of positive touches by both sides of the net. Great transition, both teams working to get the middles involved, and you got a big swing from Wunsch to put it away.
By far our longest point of the day so far. Iliff down the line, kept up by Ortega, but it hits the scoreboard and takes a really quick track down to the floor. Bobcats can't handle it.
Yeah, that ball came with some heat, and Ortega just needed to cushion it a little bit more, control it just a little bit more.
Now, if the ball hits the scoreboard on one team's side of the net, it's still alive. It's if it hits the scoreboard on its way over, the ball is ruled dead. Trying to dump that one over, Torres unsuccessful.
Good idea, it was open, just got a little too anxious.
And Mizzou has doubled up Texas State in the early going. It's 10-5. Reagan Haith on service for Mizzou. Another chance for Texas State here, and Maggie Walsh sending it over Reagan Haith, but she gets the point. Nobody there for the Bobcats.
Just another communication error. Texas State has had a couple of them already, but the setter should probably not be taking that ball.
We've seen that throughout the early going in this first set, some uncharacteristic things from the Bobcats.
Absolutely.
Will be sent over by McCurdy. Quick set to Colleen Finney, the Clemson transfer. Four nothing run by the Tigers. It's 12-5. Back set. Kept alive. Now a chance for the Tigers. Janet DeMarais showing off her big arm.
Great swing by DeMarais there. She had a little seam. Finds it here. Boom.
Missouri, an at-large selection in the NCAA tournament field. 20-8 on the year. Service error. First of the day from either team, and it ends a 5-0 run by the Tigers.
It's an aggressive serve. I think Missouri will stay aggressive at the service line all night.
Texas State, the automatic qualifier out of the Sun Belt Conference, won all 9 sets at the tournament. Big swing from DeMarais, coming back home to Dallas-Fort Worth. She's from Colleyville.
You're going to see this a lot. She's got a little bit of a size difference there with Torres.
Iliff has the ace. Big serve down that left side.
Great serve by Iliff. She's one of the better servers on their team. She's going to keep bringing it.
Well, she's the best in the SEC, Jill. That's 62 now on the season.
Absolutely.
MJ McCurdy gets the Bobcats back on the board. Another local product from here in Dallas-Fort Worth. She's from Frisco.
Just catches the line there, brings some heat. Love getting her involved.
Bailey Hanner will put it in play. 15-7, the Missouri lead from the back row. It's Iliff. Another chance from McCurdy. Wide of the line, point Tigers.
Great job by McCurdy there. She was looking for hands. It was a high, very inside set. You could see she was going after the edges of the block there, just missed it.
16-7, the advantage for Mizzou. Chiara-Lise Perez-Catila on service for the Tigers. McCurdy kept alive on the Missouri side. Another quick set to finish. So dangerous in that situation.
Yeah, as the match progresses, I know that Missouri's gonna continue to work getting the middles more and more and more involved.
Finney bringing that passion and energy to Don Sullivan's team for Mizzou. Ended the regular season with its best offensive performance in SEC play, hitting 408 to beat Auburn in straight sets. Jordan Iliff had a double-double in that regular season finale, 14 kills and 10 digs. Well, Michael Vernon, every bit as good as advertised here in the early going in round 1 of the NCAA tournament, averaging 4.21 kills per set. She has 3 so far in set 1.
I also think, I kept talking to Coach Sullivan, hey, she's your go-to, she's your go-to. And I will tell you, she continued to harp on it. Michael's great, but we have a lot of balance. We've got a lot of really great arms on our team. We've got a lot of experience on our team. And Michael is a big piece of it. But we've got a lot of really great players out there.
Yeah, we've seen that already today. It's been a well-balanced attack. Vernon, big part of it. 3 kills on 4 attempts so far. Came over from Oregon State, where she was an all Pac-12 honorable mention choice. And in so many of these transfer situations, Jill, we've had coaches who can turn players from good at one stop to great at the next one.
I absolutely. And so I think so much for players is sometimes just hearing another voice, hearing something, coached a little bit differently, just adds to your play. I think it can be a really great thing.
Finney tried to keep that one up with her foot, but instead it goes into the scores table. Nearly took out the student radio crew for Mizzou.
Yeah. Nice layout. Good effort by Missouri. Great effort.
Love that they're here, by the way. Student radio for both Texas State and Mizzou making the trip to Dallas to cover the action. That's where it starts. Michael Vernon getting it off hands, tooling the block for the Mizzou point.
Her vision has already been outstanding this match. She knows when she's got a big seam. She knows when she's happens to be one-on-one, and when she's got 2 big blockers, she knows when to go after hands.
10-point Missouri lead in the first set. Light touch from McCurdy. Smart play by the rookie.
Yes, little campfire there. Right in the seam. She knows she's got 3 blockers up. Others back playing defense. Found a little hole.
Now the freshman, after the kill, goes on service. To the right side for Mizzou. Reagan Haith can't put it to the floor. Going down the line, Sands able to dig it out. Vernon at the net, and Haith could not get it above the tape.
Nice job on the block here by Wunsch and DeFree.
Here's McCurdy. Does that hit the line? It does. Ace for MJ McCurdy, a team leading 30 for her.
That's so great. There's so many times where you see a stuff block and then you don't capitalize on a serve. And now you're seeing her capitalize on an ace. This is building some momentum for Texas State.
The deficit cut to 7 now for Texas State. Vernon into the net. And Texas State has scored 4 consecutive.
Yeah. Building momentum. The game's about momentum, right? And so let's see. Now, she wants to stay on a run here, right? McCurdy wants to stay on a run, give her team a chance to play.
Missouri trying to get back. And they do, into that far corner, feeding Michael Vernon.
Good to see Michael come back, take a good solid swing,
Easy to describe her as a rally killer. The opposition gets the momentum rolling. Let's feed it to Michael.
Absolutely.
Trying to restart the rally, but on defense, Maggie Walsh there to send it back.
So much about blocking is your ISO sequencing with the ball coming off the pass. She sees early that the ball's coming over, makes a great play. The back row setter.
Missouri 19, Texas State 13. Put in play by Alyssa Ortega. Here's Vernon again. Dug out by McCurdy. Feeding Samantha Wunsch. Not to the floor. A quick set to Reagan Haith. Unsuccessful. Wunsch again. This time met by Vernon on the block.
Great setup. You can actually see the left side pins are setting up a little bit different against Wunsch every time, right? And so she's got to really have great vision throughout this match. Sometimes they're giving her line, sometimes they're taking it away.
Took a hard hit to the head, but back to the service line. Into the campfire. Mizzou is into the red zone, but Texas State is fighting.
All right, so Texas State clearly had this scouted that they wanted to go to, you know, what we'd call the donut, the middle of the court. And you've seen them do that a few times. So let's see if Missouri has an answer for it next time.
Here's Alyssa Clark. 16 aces for her on the season. Vernon able to keep that one alive, though. DeMarais, her third kill.
Hey, these hitters are doing a great job of seeing, like, I can't take a great swing, or everybody's waiting for me. Everything's lined up perfect, and they're waiting for me to bang it, and I'm just going to soften up, tip it short.
Here's Reagan Haith. Missouri leading 21-14. Off hands and down the kill for Texas State. Walsh will go back to serve. Walsh tied with McCurdy and Wunsch, 3 kills apiece. Atop the Texas State statistics. Powerful left arm of Iliff, but it's too strong this time. Point to the Bobcats.
Just a little long here. You know, you can see in the, okay, we got a challenge.
First of the day, and it's issued by Dawn Sullivan.
The original decision is ball out. Missouri is challenging a touch.
Michelle Prater, our down official today. Chad Klunk is up top. Bryce Estes and Kayla Stevenson calling the lines. In this first round match of the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship, looking for a touch.
Hard to see here. I didn't see any.
This year, Dawn Sullivan's team lost 3 of its last 5, but closed the regular season by sweeping Auburn. Hit 408 in that match to beat their fellow Tigers. This is back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances for Mizzou. Went to Lincoln last year for the first and second rounds, swept Delaware, and then lost to Nebraska.
I tell you, I have the utmost respect for every coach here, but Dawn has done such a tremendous job turning this Missouri program around that was in a, it has a great history, and it was really struggling a couple years before she.
After review, there is a touch. Point to Missouri. Missouri retains their challenge.
Call is reversed. Point to the Tigers.
You were correct. You were correct. I didn't see any fingers, but they did.
Mizzou now 3 points away from taking set 1 over Texas State. Iliff stealing, but Texas State able to keep it alive. Set up by Crownover for Vernon.
All right, well, she got vertical. That was great. You know, if you... Great swing. She's one-on-one there. She's got a lot of court to find, so...
23-15. Service error, second of the day for Missouri.
You know, I love serving left-handed from the left side of the court. Is just something different. It's a very different look that players see.
Here's Hanner. They'll get it across to Demarais. Looking for hands, and they get the call. Point Tigers.
She got the touch. Great swing there. Finding some hands, finding the court. Nice and steady. She did not, you know, she didn't get super physical on it, bang it really hard. She made a really, really smart swing.
Set points for the Tigers. (24-16). McCurdy into the net. Point for Mizzou. And for the first time since November 14th, Texas State drops a set, a 9-point loss to Missouri team. Seeking its first NCAA tournament victory since 2020 when they beat Utah Valley. Of course, that championship held in the spring of 2021. It has been a little while, and they draw Missouri here in the opening round. A tough squad out of the SEC, one of 9 teams from that conference who have advanced to the postseason. Missouri seeking its second consecutive season into the round of 32. Beating Delaware last year in the opening round in Lincoln, Nebraska, and then falling to the host Cornhuskers in round 2. Underway in set 2 in Big D. Katila puts it in. First attack coming from Wunsch. Too low, and a point for the Tigers.
Yeah, when you have a block as physical as Missouri does, and they already have a good idea that Wunsch is getting the ball, you've got to give her some options.
Quick set to Dufree. Now coming from the back row and meeting the Bobcat blockers.
It's a great setup on the block there. You know, it was a back row attack, a little far inside, and they didn't get too wide. They took away her favorite shot.
Teams trading blocks. Vernon and Finney on the Mizzou side. Then Dufree and McCurdy for Texas State. This time getting through the block. Point Tigers.
Great swing there by Finney. I love her energy. I love how she connects with her teammates afterwards.
Maya Sands on service. Long pass across to Walsh. Another chance for Vernon. Recycled for the Tigers. Vernon again, this time trying a really difficult angle there, Jill, and can't put it down in bounds.
Yeah, she went cross and then tried to find more court cross and didn't quite have it.
Here's Ortega. 3 aces in 3 different games this year, and she has her first of this match.
So this is a really difficult seam to pass in volleyball. Where you're going cross court from left back to left back and seam between the 2 passers in middle and left back.
Ortega long this time.
Hey, it's great for her to go after it again. It's a great first serve.
First service error of the day for Texas State. Missouri has 2 of them. Here's Crownover, transfer from Texas. Maggie Walsh can't put it to the floor. Sands is there. Now a chance for Iliff. 4 kills for her.
Great swing. Really fast arm. It gave her a lot of line. And Ortega's one step off the sideline. She might be able to play it a little bit better.
That's 17 assists now for Crownover. Have some runway. Samantha Wunsch, dangerous in that situation.
Yeah, it's great. They're moving her around. They're giving her some different looks. They're giving Missouri's defense a few some different looks at Wunsch, finding ways for her to score.
At times, Wunsch this season feeling a lot of pressure to carry the load offensively. Some anxiety has been relieved as Texas State has made a more balanced attack through the tail end of this season. Here's Vernon putting it down near that back line. She's up to 7 kills.
Really smart shot. You know, you can see from her, she's not just doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? She's getting a lot of looks, and she's mixing up what she's doing with the ball.
Dumped over. Kept off the floor. Mizzou can't handle it. Point to the Bobcats. It's Walsh. Trying to knock it over on second contact. Haith can't do it. And we're tied at 5. Now it's 1-point lead for Texas State. An ace from Walsh.
I love how this Texas State team has come back in the second set. You know, sometimes in the NCAA tournament, your team has jitters, or, you know, it looks like they got all those out in the first set. And they're bowing up and they're playing again.
6-5, the Bobcat lead. On the overpass, Mizzou takes advantage. Iliff is there, the senior from St. Louis.
It's a good job being ready at the net. You see how most people are kind of crashing in there, so she just finds an open spot on the court. Nice and controlled.
Haith puts it in play. She had 11 kills last week against Kentucky, and this is Bailey Hanner. 7 kills for her in the Sun Belt final.
This is a great set. It's got a great tempo to it. Gets out wider than the block. They gave her a lot of line. She went outside the block and in, hit across the court.
The kill goes back on service. Too strong from DeMarais. 2-point Bobcat lead. Missouri hitting .286 on the day. Light touch, kept off the floor. Good defensive effort by Crownover, and Missouri able to keep it alive and go off hands for the point.
Yeah, nice job sticking with it by both teams. You know, finding the edge of the block and wiping it outside the court like that. I mean, you can't do anything about that. It's a great play to make to end the rally.
DeMarais can't get it past the blockers. Big pass over to Iliff on the line, in.
It's a nice swing. You can see the block set up in the same spot that they did last time that she was set. And however, she took a different shot that time.
Iliff is up to 6 kills. Quick set and continuation, dumped over. What an effort there by Sands. And another diving save, this time by Walsh. McCurdy off hands. Iliff. Another great dig. That one by Clark. Trying to end it. It's Texas State who finishes the point with a big block.
Hey, this is why she was the Sun Belt Conference's Defensive Player of the Year. Right? She makes big plays on the block, gets her team fired up. And you can see this floor defense really rallying around her play as well.
Jade Dufree, two-time first-team all-conference selection in the Sun Belt Conference. Teaming up with Torres on the block, and it's a 9-8 Texas State advantage. Missouri gets the point right back. Janet Demaray.
Hey, that swing was pretty important, right? Because you had Texas State fans in here. I mean, they had some momentum. They had some momentum from that block where they could have rattled off a couple more points, you know? I always think blocking is like one of the biggest momentum pieces of volleyball.
In the middle of the floor on the Texas State side, that's an ace for the Tigers. Teams are now even, 3 aces apiece. Katila getting it done.
It's a great serve by her at the right time.
15 aces on the year for the Texas Rio Grande Valley transfer. Error on that attempt. Talk about the defensive prowess that Missouri has here, Jill. Katila transferring in, the Western Athletic Conference Libero of the Year when she played at UT-RGV. And also you have Sands, who has now won the SEC Libero of the Year award twice. And there she is. Here's Vernon. The San Marcos Roofing Company has moved to Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we were sitting right at the in the line of the net here. She's getting so far over the net.
11-10, Texas State after the block. Off hands and through. Vernon trying to send it back. Misplayed, trying to get it up to Dufree. Point to the Tigers.
Yeah, and let me be clear, by over, I mean across, okay? There's a lot of players in this gym that are getting high. She's getting across. She's taking away space by getting across.
11-11. Left-handed backhand move to send it across. Long attack by Walsh, able to tool it. That much separation between her and the net, still able to tool the block. That's impressive.
Yeah.
There's Ortega on service for Texas State. Vernon back into the swing of things. 8 kills, 18 attempts so far.
Yeah, this is where, you know, Texas State really needs to settle down and do what they've been doing. Bailey Hainer kind of hesitated, well, didn't hesitate, did the opposite, got jumpy with the other middle, and by looking at the bench, it was not a commit situation.
Texas State retakes the lead as Samantha Wunsch picks up her team-leading 5th kill.
Hey, they keep moving her around a little bit, making Missouri think and follow her.
Here's Clark. Long. Second service error of the day for Texas State. Missouri has 3 of them. Now Vernon. Top 10 in the SEC with 4.2 kills per set. She set a Mizzou record for a single game, 37 kills against Arkansas. But her service run comes to an end quickly.
Hey, you know, here's the thing. We've talked about, you know, the Texas State block slowing down the physicality of Missouri's offense. But what we haven't talked about is how important it is for, you know,
Iliff on the kill from Mizzou.
Size-wise, Walsh is a little smaller, right? But she really goes after that Missouri block and has been really working to tool them over and over again. And that can be a very frustrating thing for a big physical block.
Big hit from McCurdy. They have to do it on the other side. And Texas State regains the lead. They are the first to 15 in set 2. After a 9-point Mizzou win in set 1, this has been a tight battle since November 14th. Have come back on fire in set 2, leading by 1 over Missouri. This Texas State team swept its way through the Sun Belt Conference tournament, beating James Madison, App State, and Arkansas State. First team since Little Rock in 2014 to not drop a set en route to a title. We'll actually see another team who did that same thing in its conference tournament later here at Moody Coliseum. Wichita State swept its way through the American tournament. They'll take on the host SMU in our late game.
Great look by Demaray coming out.
Jordan Iliff puts it in play, tied at 15. Light touch from McCurdy. Diving to keep it off the floor is Iliff. And Missouri goes to the left side on the attack. Getting it to Demaray.
Hey, Texas State's been tipping a lot, really short like that. Missouri's coming out and saying, hey, we can do that too.
Quick set. And Mizzou's blockers see that ball fall down in front of them on the Tigers side of the net. Samantha Wunsch re-enters, and Ryan Torres back to serve for the Bobcats. Sun Belt Tournament most outstanding player and setter of the year. Quick set to Finney. Whenever they can get her energy involved, Jill, it has worked out really well. That's 4 kills on 5 tries.
Well, that's a perfect pass there by Michael, and she gets it going. Feed in the middle there is the right thing to do. Get them involved whenever you can.
Marina Crownover up to 24 assists. 17-16 is the Missouri advantage. MJ McCurdy a little too strong. Timeout called by Sean Hewitt on the Texas State side. They led by 1 heading in to the media timeout, now trailing by a pair over Mizzou. And this was the Tigers' road to the NCAA tournament. They are an at-large choice out of the Southeastern Conference, one of 9 SEC teams in the field. 20 wins overall, 11-5 in conference play. RPI at 23 at the end of the regular season. And you see some of the big wins there, none bigger than going down in.
And coming together, and they have a lot of senior leadership on this team that wanted to do some great things.
He looked back to a match in San Marcos against Arkansas State where they lost that one and felt like that may have been the push to put them in the position they're in now and get Texas State to its standard of playing great volleyball in November. It's what you expect from this program. On the block for Missouri, Colleen Finney was there. 3 blocks now on the day for Mizzou.
Yeah, I tell you what, anytime your setter gets a stuffed block, everybody's going to be fired. I don't care how big your setter is. I don't care if she's big, she's small. Your setters get blocks, everybody's fired up.
And that's Crownover alongside Finney on the block assist. In addition to the block there, Crownover up to 24 assists already today. Averaging 11.6 assists per set in conference play. Really ramped things up when they got into the SEC. Vernon got it off of fingers. Point to the Tigers, and they are the first into the red zone in this set.
She went high and hard there. And that was close. That was close. I think, you know, one of the line judges didn't even see it, but there was clearly a touch from our angle there.
20-17. Back set for Wunsch. Brought up by Iliff. Now a joust at the net, and it continues on the Missouri side. Iliff met at the net, and now over to Vernon. Vernon off hands. Point to the Tigers, and Vernon is the first player today into double digits. She has 10 kills.
She goes high and hard here to end the rally, and Coach Sullivan talked to us about that. Her team likes to hit the perimeter of the court when they see 4 big hands up there, and that's what they're doing.
21-17, the Missouri lead. Quick set to DeFree. Now Wunsch wide of the line. Tough angle coming from that right side.
The last 2 sets, she hasn't gotten very good looks. They've gotten a little, not completely out of system, but they're a little bit forcing the ball to her, and she's not getting the looks that she needs to take great swings. But that's what this is about.
Tigers have scored 3 straight. Light touch from Vernon. Now a chance for the Bobcats. Maggie Walsh couldn't get it down. This time they'll feed her again. Dug out by Sands. Vernon low.
I didn't get to finish my sentence there, but I got too intrigued with the play. But, Wunsch is going to have to take big swings from all over the court, right? So she's going to get some looks like that, and she's going to have to find ways to score still.
Here's Ortega. Free ball for the Bobcats. What do they do with it? They send it to Wunsch. And it works out. 6 kills for her.
Great job by her just finding ways. That was a better setup there. Like a better set to her there. Chipped away at the block. Didn't feel like she could put it right down, but it really made a tough play for Iliff.
Timeout called by the Tigers. And you mentioned to Jill how much Texas State is going to Wunsch. Now 18 swings on the day for her, and that's resulted in 6 kills. Few errors, hitting at 167.
Hey, she's a great player. She was a great player in the prep game. It's really cool to watch her play now. She's really blossomed. Has become even more physical. And I think she's done a great job carrying a really big load for her team all season. Continues to tonight.
Wunsch part of a roster dominated by Texans. Why would you need to leave the Lone Star State? Hotbed for talent, the Austin area included. Among active players, DeFree is the only one outside of Texas, and she's from outside the borders. She's from France. Well, tradition at Texas State, whenever a team reaches the postseason, is to jump into the river. It is a refreshing reminder of a successful season. Special thing about that campus, why not incorporate it into the athletic department?
Absolutely. I spent a lot of time as a kid floating that river.
The last time that I saw a team jump in was last fall when Texas State qualified for its first bowl game in football, and the Bobcats were sent here to SMU to play in the First Responder Bowl over at Gerald J. Ford Stadium. Bobcats got the win in their first ever bowl game, and the fans really showed up. They drank the place dry. And I'm being serious. There was nothing left. Texas State fans know how to party.
Hey, great defensive player by Ortega. I'm not sure if they're gonna, no, they didn't show it here, but that kill does not happen. That little chip off the outside hand if Ortega does not lay out for a great dig.
Here's Ortega with her team trailing by 2. Vernon off the hands of Wunsch and Hanner. Tigers just 2 points away from going up 2-0.
Hey, against defense being played like that, that is a very, that's a great shot. Like, it's really hard to stop.
That's a Dolphin into the nets for Crownover. And Texas State back within a pair.
Hey, pay attention to this as we get late into the set, but I know Texas State sometimes go into what we call a rover defense, where a defensive player kind of follows the block, picks up the tip, they move around, they do different things.
Whatever you call it, rover, any position, it's hard to keep that type of attack off the floor.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's straight up perimeter here, but I mean, you got to have a block up. That's just a missed assignment.
Set point for the Tigers. Texas State unable to put it down to the Terraflex. Can Mizzou? No, the Bobcats stay alive.
Great job coming back on a block ball by them.
And Maggie Walsh will have an opportunity. Walsh ends the set with a service error. Tigers go up 2-0. Face them adverse. Picked up over 1,000 kills during her 4 years at Oregon State, but the Beavers didn't win very much during her time there. Never made the NCAA tournament. Decided to make a change, make this final run at the big dance, and able to achieve that, playing here in Dallas in the opening round. Had to adjust to the culture there in Columbia.
Well, Coach talks about the culture a lot. I got to tell you, I think it's very consistent. I think she's done a great job building her culture at Missouri and instilling it, getting the right people on her roster that want to do great things and can buy into what they're doing there. I'm excited for them to put it together on the court.
Dawn Sullivan, her second year leading the Tiger program. In her first run through the SEC, earned Coach of the Year honors in the conference. Underway in set 3. Getting it to Colleen Finney, going down the line. The burst of energy.
Hey, great job by Crownover going away from Michael to start the set. A couple sets in a row there.
29 assists now for Crownover. Another opportunity here, getting it to Reagan Haith. Crownover up to 30, and Haith has her second kill.
Watch them to keep transitioning the middle quick. That's something that I know they really want to do.
Sands at the line, quick set to Dufree for the first point for the Bobcats in set 3. Remember, Dufree is the best in the Sun Belt Conference, 373 hitting percentage, but in this one, Jill, negative hitting percentage right now.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a different look in front of her right now. It's probably a bigger physical team, more physical team, and you know, passing plays into that too. You know, like when you're not passing as well, and I don't think this is their best passing performance. When you're not passing as well, you got to go to the middle when you can. It's harder to keep it balanced.
And you alluded to it there, the level of competition that Texas State is seeing today. They played a few teams that reached the NCAA tournament during the regular season, beat one of them, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They were swept at Texas A&M and beat a couple of times by Hawaii. Point to the Bobcats on that sequence. That trip to Hawaii that included 2 matches against the Warriors, part of just an amazing road trip for Texas State throughout the month of November. Coach Hewitt said they only slept in their own beds 5 times throughout the course of the month, September rather, to open up the season. They didn't have a single non-conference game in San Marcos. Iliff on the attack. Maggie Walsh can't get it down. Now a chance for Vernon. Texas State with another chance, beating Wunsch into the middle. Another great donut shot offered up by Texas State.
Yeah, good job mixing it up by Wunsch here. I know that was it's got to be part of their scouting report. We've seen it a lot.
Alyssa Ortega on service for Texas State. Thanks to my guy Brant Freeman down at Texas State, by the way, clarifying that river jump. It started with the football team last year, so a new tradition there on the San Marcos campus, but needless to say, it will stick around. What a cool thing to do when a team reaches the NCAA postseason or a bowl game in football's case.
Great shot by her. This is the first time we've seen a deep tip down the line from her, I believe. She just continues to show she can move the ball around to a lot of places.
Into the far corner for Bailey Hanner. Bobcats looking for their first NCAA tournament win since the 2020 championship season, conducted in the spring of 21. They'll need a reverse sweep to do it. Jordan Iliff on the attack for Missouri to give the Tigers a 1-point lead.
They do a great job of making the right shot selection with the ball.
On the slide, able to get it off hands. Bailey Hanner involved in the offense a lot here early in set 3. Up to 3 kills, hitting a team leading 375. Score tied at 5. Off the floor, kept by McCurdy. She gets it right back. Set to Finney. Joust at the net, goes to the Bobcats.
Great job by Torres here, fighting at the net. You know, setters, they always win these jousts. She gets it done for her team. Lots of fight in her.
6-5 Bobcats. Big swing from Iliff, kept off the floor by Ortega. Now Vernon with the dig. Pass by Sands to DeMarais. Too strong. Point Texas State. 2-point lead.
It's a tough angle for DeMarais. She had to take that ball from over the top of her head and really work to put it in.
Here's Walsh. She had more blocks than kills in the Sun Belt tournament, something that Coach Hewitt said didn't think he'd ever see.
I think we're seeing why today.
How about it at the net? Hanner alongside McCurdy. Walsh keeping it off the floor. McCurdy now. Set up for Finney. Texas State players diving all over the place, but Mizzou gets the point.
Great effort by this Texas State defense. On this quick middle transition, they stick with it. They almost have it, just not quite.
A little less worse for the wear now that SMU has the TerraFlex floor installed here inside Moody Coliseum. McCurdy going down the left side. First season for this playing service here in Dallas. Receiving rave reviews, of course, from all the Mustangs.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta have TerraFlex. That's where it's at now.
9-6, the Texas State lead. DeMarais trying to get it down into the donut, but Walsh keeps it up. A chance for McCurdy. She does not want her freshman season to end.
Hey, McCurdy with back-to-back kills here for Texas State. She's just letting it rip. You gotta love that. You gotta love seeing that out of freshmen, right?
And her growth on the floor pales in comparison to her growth literally. She was a 5'4" little DS a few years ago in club ball. Now 6'2", still growing, a powerful hitter. Texas State leads by 4. Naomi Franco getting into the action for Missouri for the first time. Quick set on the Texas State side. to DeFree.
A double sub here with Dudley and Frank.
Volleyball championship, and it is a big upset. Loyola Chicago sweeping BYU to begin this event. The Cougars go down in straight sets. Missouri trying to make sure the favorite walks out of Dallas with a round 1 win. 7th seed in this quadrant of the bracket.
Missouri,
Finney getting it done.
Missouri steady on their passing again, still being able, I mean, they can deal all over the court right now. They've been staying pretty steady passing.
Here's Katila. Coach Sullivan says the tougher the competition, the better she plays. Thriving in these big-time environments throughout the SEC and now into the NCAA tournament. Finney wide of the line going towards that Texas State bench.
Hey, Finney was up early. This is even a little bit, it feels anyway to me like a little bit quicker tempo even than when Crownover was in.
Here's Ryan Torres. Most outstanding player in the Sun Belt tournament, where Texas State won all 3 of its matches in sweeps. Vernon falling away. Haven't seen that from her yet, hadn't needed to.
Yeah.
She can score in so many different avenues.
Yeah, she was in get it over and in mode, but just happened to squeak it by and find an open spot.
Into the net from Maya Sands. That's 6 service errors for Missouri today. Texas State has 3. The teams are even in aces, 3 apiece. McCurdy nearly gets a 4. She does.
She's really stepped it up for her team this set. This is a great serve. The ball just drops out. The bottom just drops right out of it, ends up closer to a mid-zone. Those are very tough to pass.
A pair of aces for the freshman from nearby Frisco, Texas. Ortega feeding Wunsch. Once again, this time into the donut. Texas State fans protesting, thinking they already had the point won, but ball don't lie. Bobcats still get it.
Well, for them, when in doubt, go to the donut. You can tell, right? Donut, roll the court. That's their plan.
McCurdy continues her service run. Vernon ends it. Bobcats had scored 3 straight.
Gave Crownover and Iliff a little bit of a break. They get to watch from outside. You probably get to hear a couple things from their coaches, right? Head back in, give their team some energy here.
Here's Marina Crownover, transfer from Texas, part of the national championship team last season. Also on the squad when Texas won it in 2022, but redshirted, didn't play in that campaign for the Horns.
This last ball here is when you got to work a little bit harder to give a better look to one of your hitters.
15-10, Texas State. Vernon again. Down and right at Coach Hewitt after it hits the floor, and he wants a timeout. Missouri has scored 3 straight, trimming the Texas State lead to 15-11.
That time, it looked like Vernon.
Our team behind the scenes in Dallas, first of 2 matches on this Moody Coliseum floor. SMU and Wichita State waiting to play their match next. It'll begin no earlier than 7 o'clock Central Time. SMU going through its first season in the Atlantic Coast Conference, earning an at-large spot, and they'll get to face a familiar opponent, Wichita State, out of the American. The last time those two teams played here in Dallas, the Shockers beat the Mustangs. On the overpass, Vernon can't put it down. Another opportunity for her. Kept off the floor by Walsh. But Wunsch can't get it across.
Great defensive play by Texas State in that rally. I mean, their defensive players have really stepped it up here, keeping them fighting in this set.
15-12, Texas State. Miss hit and long. Tigers within 2. And they'll look at this one. Texas State challenging.
Original decision is point Missouri. Texas State is challenging a block touch.
Michelle Prater giving us the explanation. We know better to make any declarative statement.
Right.
After review, there is ruling on the court is no touch. Point Missouri. Texas State loses their challenge.
So Mizzou gets the point. Trying to sweep Texas State to open up NCAA tournament play in Dallas. Maria Crownover at the line. Picked up a second team All-SEC honor this season. Wunsch dug out by Katila, and on the other side, it's Torres playing defense. Wunsch again on the attack. Quick set to Haith. Walsh denied. And Texas State can't keep that one off the floor. Great effort on both ends. Tigers pick up their 6th consecutive point.
Great dig by Perez Katila to keep a minute there. Texas State didn't quite able to lay out and get that last point.
Into the net by Crownover. (16-14), Texas State in front. Beating Vernon again. Meeting hands. Kept alive by the Tigers. Wunsch to Vernon and Haith. Tigers send it back.
Hey, Wunsch thought she saw a seam there. Haith just she dove into the seam at the last minute low. Just caught that ball.
Vernon into the net. 8th service error of the day for the Tigers. 3 aces for Mizzou. Bobcats up by a pair. Big swing by DeMarais. They go to the other side this time for Iliff. First team All-SEC player pulls her team within a point.
Great job catching the outside hand. They've been giving her a lot of line tonight. And she, they stepped up just a tiny bit more, but she still caught the hand and out. Great vision.
Bobcat lead is just 1. And now we're tied, 17-17.
You know, Texas State has done a good job tonight, I think, hitting high and hard. And these last two swings over on the right side from Wunsch and in the middle on the slide, they went low seam. And can't do that against this team.
Wide on serve. And Texas State regains the lead at 18-17, trailing 2-0 to Missouri. Walsh puts it in play. Finney can't put it to the floor. From the back row, Vernon. This time going to Iliff. Tooling the block. Point. Tigers tied again, now at 18.
Nice change of flow, change of direction there by Crownover to get the block kind of chasing Iliff.
McCurdy unsuccessful. Chance for DeMarais. Janet gets the points for Missouri. She has 8 kills.
Hey, remember last time when Missouri started coming back, DeMarais got up there, tipped the ball to some real specific spots right over the top of the block to get them going again, right? Like, she's staying nice and calm and composed. Great vision. It's like we have a challenge by Coach Sullivan here.
The original decision on the court is ball out. Missouri is challenging ball in.
I have a much worse angle on our screens.
After review, the ball is out. It is point Texas State. Missouri loses their challenge.
The only real reaction we hear on these replays, Jill, is from the fans directly behind us who are checking out our monitors.
Right.
19-19. All stands tied again. Now ready for play. Hanner on service. Set up for DeMarais. Texas State able to keep it alive and get it to McCurdy. Right back to Janet. Recycled for Texas State after the joust. McCurdy. Now Vernon from the back row. McCurdy again, wide. Big momentum for the Tigers. It feels like it's on their side after that well-earned point.
Gritty play there by Missouri.
Tigers are the first in the red zone. It's 20-19. Here's Gatila, senior from Puerto Rico. Long and wide.
Hey, from talking to Coach Sullivan, Missouri's culture is one of the things is about grit. It's loving each other, it's treating each other like family, and it's grit. And they're showing all those things here. I love to see it.
Coach Don Sullivan turning this program around quickly. Her aim is to win championships. Asked her about the draw here, getting Texas State in the opening round and potentially SMU tomorrow. She didn't get caught up in it, just knew that Moody Coliseum would be a great venue, fantastic place to play, and loved the fact that she got some of her players back home to Texas. As Gatila has her blood wiped off perhaps there.
I mean, she's also put together an amazing staff.
Yes.
You got Wendell Camargo, Cullen Irons, you got Ariel Wilson, who played Penn State, Jenna Gabriel, who played Texas. She's put together a really great staff.
2020. Here's Vernon. Gets it off hands for the point. Tigers up by 1.
Now serving for Missouri, number 3, Maya Sands.
Sands will have service. 2-time SEC Libero of the Year. To Vernon. Now here's McCurdy. Long point Tigers.
Hey, just a little high. Shoot. Okay, here we go. Challenge again by Coach Hewitt.
Original decision is point. Missouri, Texas State is challenging a block touch.
Can't take them home with you. Trailing by 2 potentially. Sean Hewitt pulls out the challenge card. This is somebody that is so incredibly invested in this Texas State program. Before becoming head coach, he was an assistant for 14 seasons, then elevated in 2020. Culture over everything, Jill. This team is selfless in everything they do.
Absolutely, and he's
Some of her teammates there with the thrill are
After review, the play stands. Point, Missouri. Texas State loses their challenge.
but a problem you'd rather have than one that didn't, if it didn't exist.
Yeah,
that would not be a good thing.
Exactly.
Opportunities continue to grow for the star athletes of NCAA volleyball to be able to play professionally here stateside.
Yeah. Just time to adapt, right? Just need to adapt.
We'll see 4 draftees in our late game here between SMU and Wichita State. Met at the net by the Missouri block. Fresh into the game, Naomi Franco part of it.
It's a big statement from the Missouri State block to Texas State after the challenge.
Franco has played sparingly, but making an impact here in set 3 with Missouri only 2 points away from earning a sweep in the first round for a 2nd consecutive season.
Yeah, it really, you know, when they were down a little earlier, I think you could see Michael Vernon step up a bit, put the team on her back. We hadn't, you know what I mean? She really stepped up and even upped her play even more.
Speaking of Vernon, she's one of 3 players from Missouri selected to the All-SEC first team. Tigers the only squad in the conference to have that many.
Graduate or 5th-year player. And man, she's playing like one. She's doing a great job.
23-20, the Missouri lead coming out of the timeout. Texas State fighting for their lives coming out of this TO. What's the mentality in that huddle with Sean Hewitt as these players return to the floor?
Oh man, they just need to let it rip. They talk about that a lot, right? So that's what Coach had talked about. They just need to go. Like they said, culture over everything, and their culture is part of it is they got to let it rip.
This team only lost 3 sets the entire month of November. Speaking of, the Bobcats swept through the Sun Belt Conference tournament, but in danger of being swept here in the opening round of the NCAA tournament to Missouri. Tigers have fire in their eyes, trying to finish off the Bobcats and advance to the round of 32. And we'll have the 2-time Libero of the Year on service in Maya Sands. Beating Wunsch again. Vernon off balance, falling away, nearly got it to the floor and gets the points.
Great job by Missouri here. They have a high dig. No, they don't have a setter on a court right now, right? So they made a blocking sub with Franco, and they got a dig here, right? And they're just going to be automatically out of system. So great communication by them.
Match point for Missouri. McCurdy able to keep the Bobcats alive.
Once again, great job by Franco as a blocking sub. Now Crownover comes back in to run the offense.
Tigers had scored 4 straight. Match point for Mizzou. Vernon trying to finish off the Bobcats. Wunsch. Sands keeps it alive. Now Vernon again. Going down the line and wide. Vernon sitting at 19 kills. If her 20th would have gone down there in bounds, Tigers walk away with a round of 64 win. Match point again for the Tigers. Back on the Mizzou side for Vernon. Reset. Vernon, 20 kills on the day, and the Tigers have advanced into the round of 32 for a second consecutive season. Missouri now 1 win away from its first Sweet 16 since 2017.